Y'all, the Most High is grand in ways that we can't possibly understand. And I was not going to do a live stream today because I'm not in my normal location. I'm up the road and I swear I feel like I should be like "Arr," and angry and all this stuff right now, but I can do nothing but laugh because the Most High is so grand. And I don't have my music. I don't have anything right now. Y'all have no idea what I talked about what it took for me to get up here a little bit on Thursday, and I couldn't get out the house. And I'm like, oh man, I can't get out the house. So I finally get up here Friday, like not even that long ago, like uh 4:30 in the morning Eastern time. I left at 4:30 p.m. I managed to make the whole drive in 12 hours, which I don't think I've hardly ever been able to do. It was a very easy drive. I got here, I got my kids unloaded. My daughter went to get her hair done, and then I finally laid down to get some rest. And my car got took. Like it literally like they came and they take it. They took it. And something had told me, get the rest of this stuff out the car, so on and so forth, all of that. And so I was like, okay, I'll just get it, when I get to it. So I was asleep. My mom was like, Dominique, they got your car. I was like, oh no, let me see if I can get the rest of my stuff out of there. So I ran over to the car. Mom got some trash bags. I took all my stuff out. And I was just like, I cannot believe this. And the whole time I was like, well, you know, I asked to be judged, didn't I? Did I say that? You got to be judged. I asked to be judged. Judge me for what I done. That's the way it goes. You can't just be up here laughing and joking and teeing and like I said the other day, and then not ask for the judgment. And so I was like, okay. So I grabbed all my stuff out the car. So mind you, I'm 10 hours from home. I got all my kids with me. And I'm at my grandmother's house, which is a whole nother set of problems. Shalom, good morning, good morning. And I'm like, okay. So I said, okay, well, first things first. I'm not, yeah, Catholic Church banking day. First things first, I'm not going to worry about it because first of all, I asked to be judged, and I know I've been judged innocent first. Second of all, like I've been working on the whole bill pay thing, right? So that information is probably like en route to them. So I'm like, okay, this is um this is just really crazy because I got the feeling I was like, well, I'm here. I know this is my permanent address. Something, every time I'm here, something's going to happen. And I would say it was probably about oh my gosh, maybe 10 years ago the same thing happened. And I was like, wow, when it happened before and they came and took my car, I really didn't know what to do next. I was just flabbergasted. But I went out like, I don't know, the next day or something, and I had another car. It was no problem. It was no worries. It was no issue. And I was doing about as much work as I'm doing now. It's just nothing has changed that much with me. I've always been on the missions from the most high. It was just like that shocking thing. Oh, my dad gave me a car because it was an extra car. Always some extra cars, roaming around in the country. So I had a car. It wasn't, or I drove my sister's car. I don't know. It wasn't no problem. But the whole thing about me trying to get on the road, and it was a whole big argument to get out of the house and all of this stuff. And then I get here and I'm like, super, super late from what I expected and all of that. And it's like if I had to take this punishment, there is no possible way that this punishment could have been better orchestrated because I have nothing to do while I'm up here. Like I'm not leaving until Monday. anyway. Um, I don't have any plans. The sister that I'm going to see later on, I can get over there. It's not that far. I'm in. I'm somewhere where I'm safe. But I'm just like, wow. Like if this had to happen, it could not have happened at a more perfect time. Let them come and take it because the Most High, they're gonna have to bring it right back. That's the part. Nobody is going to, y'all. I'm only doing this live stream because I want y'all to know this is like a Shavi Zane moment. She did this the other day, and I said, man, that's crazy. I'm not going to get online and tell people when something like this is going on, but I have to because when the car shows back up in the driveway and they have to bring this thing back, do you know what kind of testimony that's going to be for somebody? Somebody is going to hear this today, and in a few days, when they gotta roll that piece of junk back here, I just put a full tank of gas in it. They gonna have to roll that thing right on back here, and I'm gonna take it right back down to Florida where I came from. I know it more than I know anything. I said, not only that, everything else I work for is just going to bloop, 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 bloop. But that's why I titled it, When the Going Gets Tough, Is It Still Most High Over Everything? It'd be so easy for me right now to be like, man, the Most High, why he do this to me? Did it. No, I asked to be judged. This is what I got judged on. Of all the many things I could get judged on, because I told y'all, I I work for the Most High. Look, when he give me my his to pay for something, I pay for it. If I don't have it, I ain't got it. When the Most High give it to me, I'll do it. And I have been avoiding this. You know, been avoiding this particular thing because I remember how I felt when it happened to me before. And actually, this kind of stuff is it's like if I was a Gentile now, then I started thinking. I said, if I was a Gentile, how would I take this? Well, number one, I would have probably been on the phone with those people every single time they called, trying to talk them out of what they was already trying to do. What a waste of time. What a waste of time. If I didn't have a solution, I have a solution because the Most High gave me a solution. So I have a solution. The solution is already en route. It's going to be like a ticking time bomb. When they get the payment, when the payment comes through, they got to roll my car back fully paid. Then what? What happens? What are these people going to do? They got to eat all of these fees because the payment is in the mail. It's already been made. The Most High has a cattle on 1,000 hills. The payment is made in full. My ancestors paid. It's paid, honey. Y'all gonna have to roll that piece of junk right back here. I'm gonna load all my stuff back in it, and I'm gonna take it right back down the road. Exactly. I mean, I already came up here with a plan to do nothing. I've never come up the road with a plan to do nothing. My daughter went to get her hair done, and we'll go see the sister later. That's it. That's the extent of my visit here. Now I get to stay at my grandmother's house, and I like staying here, even though it's cold. It's still, I like being here. All the good memories, all the good stuff is right here in this house. So I get to stay here. I get to hang out with my mom and hang out with my kids, and we're gonna be like this maybe a day. I don't know. I mean, because I'm gonna go stay at the sister house anyway. I don't usually stay here for too long, but I'm gonna stay here for a few more hours. Shalom, shalom, and then I'm going ahead. You know, um, Oh my gosh, I wish my grandmother died actually until 2017, but her energy is still right here. Her, my grandfather, all the good stuff we used to. I remember it all. So I get to stay right here with my ancestors. We going to chill. And the crazy thing is now, listen to this too. When I was driving up the road, my daughter was asleep, and she like woke up out her sleep and was like, I was talking on the phone to my mom. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And she was like, well, why aren't you paying attention to the road? You should just stop all that and pay attention to the road. She sounded exactly like my grandmother in my grandmother's voice. I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, you need to stop what you're doing and pay attention to the road. My grandmother would say that all the time because I would always text and drive. And so I would say about 15 minutes from the house, not 15 minutes, 15 minutes from 10 minutes from the exit. A person came on to 95 southbound driving the wrong way. They got on the wrong exit. They got the, I don't even know how you do this. They got on the exit going the wrong direction and was driving down the interstate the wrong direction. Not they turned around and no, no, no. They got on the wrong ramp going the wrong way and was driving down the interstate the wrong way. And I was like, oh, so before I can even get here, the ancestors are always telling me something is going on. Then I get here, they come and they take my car, and I'm like, wow, and it was like a couple people on the car. I'm like honking at the dude, like I know not to flash because you never know what kind of crazy initiation thing they got on here. So I'm just honking my horn at the dude, like you need to turn around. You're going the wrong direction. But I was just so shocked that my daughter sat up in my grandmother's voice and said, "You need to be paying attention to the road." I was like, wow, this is crazy. So then I get here and this stuff happens. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And what in the world is going on here? And I just like, all praises to the most high. This is the I mean, if this have to happen, this could not be a better situation for this to happen. And number one, like I said, I'm here. It's no issues, it's no worries. I'm solid. As long as I'm here, everything is cool. I know my house down the road. There's no problems with that. And yeah, through in her voice, exact tone and I was like, I am going to get off the phone. I told him, "Look, you know what? I have to get off the phone. Uh, uh, it sounds like I need to get off the phone and pay attention to the road." It was really shocking. So I have not even been here. I don't even know what time it is. I haven't even been here 4 hours. I haven't been to sleep at not one. I was half sleep when they came and I had to run out and take all the stuff out the car. And so I got all my stuff out the car, all my protection. That's mostly what I was worried about, getting my little protection stuff and all of that. Got all my stuff out the car. No worries, no problems, no nothing. I think I might have left one thing, but it's not a big deal. It's something I can absolutely remake if I have to. But like as soon as it was over, I was like, okay, so instead of spiraling into woe is me mode, because that's not we don't even have to do that over here. I pulled out my pendulum because it was in my pocket. And I was like, okay, am I speaking to my guardian angel? Make sure I check this. Something have not jumped on me in the midst of all of this. Because when you bring dealing with other people, you don't know what's coming off of them, all of that. I don't have no, all my incense and do all my normal stuff. I have none of that. You know what I mean? And so I was like, well, let me just pull out my pendulum. It's right here in my pocket. Let me just ask. I was like, well, is this why y'all wanted me up here? Yes, because I kept saying if I have authorization to go, oh yeah, you gotta go up there. You gonna have to face this demon head on. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. No worries for me. No problems, no issues. The only thing is, I just didn't want my daughter to have to go through this. But my older daughter, she done been through everything with me. This one right here, this middle one, she hadn't been through too much. I don't like, I didn't want her to go through too much, and she didn't. It was just like, oh well. And then I told her, oh, it's an accounting error, which it is. The money is there. I know they probably already have it. The energy I sent to these people, they probably already got it. So they did not update their systems properly. They gonna have to roll that sucker right back, and I'm gonna make them bring it right back here. I'm not running around trying to figure out who got it and all. No, y'all gonna have to roll that sucker right back here. Y'all got y'all's money. I'm sure that they got their money now. Before I was like, man, are they? My oldest one, she's actually not here because she went to get her hair done. So she when I tell her, I'm just gonna be like, man, don't worry about it. She's an old soul, old ancestor, really. She's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fine. This little one, she's just like, oh well, what happened? I said, well, it's small accounting error. This is what the Gentiles would say. See, because I've done a lot of business with the Gentiles. When something like this happens, they're like, oh, it's just an accounting error. They'll resolve it and fix it right back. We got to be able to do that too. That's why I said when the going gets tough, is it still the most high over everything? Because the Gentiles, they don't worry about nothing. This is why they're going to have a tough, I mean, a tough time coming because When it was them, they just like I said, oh well, it's just a small accounting error. I'm not worried about it. Y'all will, resolve this. Yeah, the old soldier. I mean, these rainbow children and these crystal children. I have a rainbow and two crystal. Man, my son, he literally could be my grandfather reincarnated. I gave him my grandfather's name. He literally could be my grandfather or my great grandfather reincarnated. Literally, he is an old man, and every time he got big giant man hands. He's not even two yet. He's a giant. So, and he sleep too. He's slept through the whole thing, no problem. Everybody's fine. And I'm just like, wow, I could be up here crying my eyes out like the first time it happened. I'm like, oh my gosh, how awful this and this and this and this. Can't believe these people. This time, number one, I know that they got their money. And if they don't have it, by the time Monday come around, they will have it. And they're gonna have to resolve this issue. This it's out of my hands. The notice was sent that they had their money and their money was coming, and therefore they're going to have to figure that out and roll my old honky donkey back right here so I can go back home. Number one. Number two, if this wasn't the most high and the angels orchestrating this could have happened so many other bad ways. I mean, I can just think of all of the horrible ways that this could happen, you know. And instead of it being some horrible situation where I'm just like, oh my goodness, I have no solution. I'm like, man, the paperwork is already you like she said, the paperwork is on some Gentile test, but you know what I have that the Gentiles don't have? I have control over my magnetic and my electric fluid that I have been working on since I found out about it. And so I sent them all kinds of energy. These people can't sleep. They work every day hard as ever to get rid of my stuff. Why? Because they can't rest until they do. And the problem is knowing what I know about who works in the government, it's a skin folk. It's not a Gentile. It's a skin folk that got it. And it's like, oh no. You're not getting no rest until you skin folk because what maybe if you're not from DC, you may not know. 90% of the government workers are black. They look like you. They act like you. They hate you, by the way, in case you didn't know that. But they do look like you. They do act like you. They do think that they're better than you, but they do look like you. And I know that for a 100% fact. So, um, yeah, these people are skin folk. Some of them is your kinfolk because if they in this area, DC area, they could be related to you. They hate your guts. If you did that mirror thing with the sesame seed, you would see endless government, especially if you're doing any of this bill pay stuff, you would see endless government workers that hate your guts. They know who you are. They know who you are. You are in the system as someone they got to pass through because that's what I ask for. For anybody who does the process, any of our people that the most high just boop 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 automatically approve. There's nothing they can do to stop it. They hate your guts. They can't do what you can do. They don't know about no magnetic fluid. They haven't said no prayers. They haven't done no fasting. They haven't done anything. When the going gets tough for them, they're going to be the ones who come to you and say, "Can you please X? Can you please Y?" And I told the sister last night, this is why I know this happened to me, man. I told the sister last night, I was on the phone with her for like 2 hours. I was saying, you know, I already have a plan. If a skin folk come to me and they want to know how to get their life together, look, did you do a 7-day fast? Look, you're gonna have to do a 7-day fast. You're gonna have to do the boiling pot. You're gonna have to do the parsley cleanse, and then come and talk to me. Once you do all three of those things, and I'm gonna make sure that you did it because I'm gonna pull out my pendulum, which I carry with me all the time now. Look, it's even saying yes. And say, did this person do it? And if they say no, I'll be like, nope, you didn't do it. Don't come back. Click. That's it. You gonna have to do the work before you even come close to asking me a question. I'm not now people in the nation, I'll answer questions all day because we gotta work with each other. But these skin folk and these kin folk that look like me and I know hate my guts, they gonna have to fast. I wanna know. I wanna see it. And not for me, because what you're not going to do is exploit the Most High on my watch. If I have any power, any control over it, the little bit of control that I have, I'm not going to let you exploit the Most High or the angels or anybody else. Don't try it. It's going to be a problem for you. It's not going to happen. I am like not a gatekeeper like these people are trying to gatekeep information. I'm not trying to gatekeep no information. If you go and watch my videos, you will find all more information than you could ever need. But your specific issue, you're gonna have to fast. You're gonna have to fast. You're gonna have to do the boiling pot. You're gonna have to you're gonna have to do the parsley cleanse. You're gonna have to say Psalms 51 at least 7 days in a row. Really, you need to do that for 30 days to get that into your spirit. You're gonna have to deal with your demons before you come to me with any of that because I am dealing with mine right now. And this right here is not pleasant. However, it could be worse. I can't even go to all the details on how worse it could be. And the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, wow, this could have really been a disaster. This could have really been a disaster. Really. Like and yet psh, I started out this thing, I was laughing. I can't believe it. The most high got a sense of humor because I told y'all I went on the most high. I was like, look, I don't know what's going on. These angels is not getting it done. You're gonna have to step in and do something. This is what I have. This is what you get when you go to the Most High like that. He gonna have to give you a lesson. Don't have to be the harshest lesson, but it's gonna have to be a lesson. And I hope I don't have to go to the Most High like that anymore. But it was necessary. And now I see, boom, this is what happens. I'm gonna have to. Also, like I said, I asked to be judged. Please judge me, so that one of the orations say part 5 in is it part 5 or book 5 in the key of the greater key of Solomon says um ju- uh judge me so that when I come before the holy angels and the most high that I will be found clean. Like I don't want to get to the end and then find out that I had all of this stuff that I had to deal with. No, go ahead. Judge me now. I confess my sins before you so that in the presence of the angels and so that in the presence of my enemies, I may not be found to have had sin or whatever in my heart. Do it now. Get it over with. Now that this is over with. This is a whole chapter that's closed. I mean, this is a whole chapter that's closed. Not even a little bitty part. This is a whole chapter that closed. From here out, it's a totally different ball game. It's a totally different situation because everything is set up for it to be different. It's not it's no way I come into this situation and leave out of it the same way. Because now, like I've been saying, the Most High has walked me every step. Now it's a bunch more steps he's going to have to walk. And according to the angels, like I said, I pulled out my pendulum. I asked, "Is this why I had to come up here?" Yes. All right, no problem. You know, is any other thing that I'm gonna have to deal with besides this because this is a lot? Nope, just this. Okay, fine. I trust my angels. Again, that's why you have to have relationships with them. I trust them. You know, what they say, I believe. They bear the face of the name of the Most High. They are not a man that they should lie. So they say this is why I have to go. And I didn't ask. I didn't. That's another thing. I didn't ask if I should go. I asked did I have authorization to go. Oh yeah, I got authorization to go. I should have asked, should I go? And I probably would have got a maybe not. But again, this had to be dealt with. Why? We got a fast coming up, start next Saturday, 22 days, asking for the judgment. I have to get rid of whatever judgment has that's left. I have to deal with that because I'm asking for the judgment. Again, I want to come before the Most High blameless. And the only way to come before the Most High blameless is to literally be blameless. You can't you can't fake blameless. You can't fake blameless. Either you blameless or you not blameless. And if you're not blameless, you best work on that, get that out the way. You do not want to go before the Most High with blame that you could have dealt with. And so I have to go through this slightly harsh lesson, not super harsh, slightly harsh, not losing no skin off my back. I already asked him, will I be driving back home in that car? Angel said yes. They haven't lied to me yet. They haven't lied to me yet. So I know Monday, Tuesday, something like that, they're gonna bring that piece of car right back here. I'm gonna get in it, and when I leave, I'm gonna be free. When it, I had to come back home to be free. See, people say you're not loved. A prophet is never loved in their home, but sometimes you got to get free in your home. If you don't go home to get free, where you going to get free from? You going to get free while you're in bondage? You going to get free while you're in slavery, or you going to get free while you're home? I mean, that makes the most sense to me. It doesn't. When they were freeing the slaves allegedly, if you believe in all of that, from what they say, their stories that they tell about our people. But anyway, I won't go into that rabbit hole right now. But when they were freeing the slaves, allegedly, they freed them from their home, from the plantation. They didn't take them to the middle of town with all the other slaves and everyone else. They went from plantation to plantation, and they talked with the owners, the plantation owners. And this is according to Up from Slavery by Booker T. Washington. This is what he said happened on the plantation he was on. They came to the plantation, and they told them, the whoever, the army came to the plantation owners and told them, look, you're gonna have to free these people around here, and you better figure it out. And some of the people, they were old, they were this, they worked something out so they could say. Booker T. Washington and his mother and his brother and sister, they went on to West Virginia, which is a whole nother thing, but they went somewhere to freedom. But you got to start by getting your freedom at home. That's why our people, we can't get freed by going to Africa. Because we're from here. If you we can get free from anywhere. Let me not say it like that. But if you're already here, you're going to be freed here on this land, not some foreign land. I know. My dad lives in Martinsburg. I it's You gotta have like a love hate relationship with West Virginia. It depends on if you go to Martinsburg, you gonna get a little more colored folks. It's not so bad. Now, if you go up to like where WVU is, nah, I'm not Morgantown. I would skip that. But Charlestown, where they got the slides and all, that's a nice little part. But outside of that, West Virginia is kind of like, yeah, we're not. They're not gonna ever believe it. They're not gonna believe it because if you don't know, Dane Calloway, who is sort of Agent T, reported this. I think I found this out like 5 or 6 years ago. But the slave ship manifests were open source in the 70s. So when people was doing their genealogy heavy in the 70s, you could go back and put your family on a slave manifest. So a lot of people say, "Oh, well, they found my family's name on the slave ship manifest." However, they found your family's name because someone in your family put it there, a skin folk, so that you would always be thinking you came from Africa. So we're gonna be freed right here by this government is going to free us right here. Oh, I don't know if I could see that whole thing. I would read it. That Isaiah, man, I had to go back and reread the whole Bible. That's not even what I wanted to talk about when I came on this. I, but I just had to get this out. When it comes down to it, you have to decide if it's really the Most High over everything, because it's you gonna have to, even though we're out of our trouble, we're out of our curse. You still have to, all your karma, all that stuff, you still gotta deal with it. And so when it comes down to you have to take a little bit of adversity or a big bit of adversity, is it still going to be the most high over everything? And you just got to really have that. Just like I had said in my mind, I was angry, but I didn't want to sin. That was my number one thing. I can be as angry as I want, but I don't want to sin. I need to make sure whatever I do in my anger that I don't sin. And I did whatever it took. I said, I'm not going to sin over this, because this is really, that was more difficult than this. This is like, oh, well, I already got a result for this. That stuff with the old man, that's just ongoing stuff. Like, that's just, it's just ongoing. But this stuff right here, oh, this is already resolved. The Most High has already paid the bill. The bill is paid. They just didn't get the check yet. And so, yes, you want to be at peace while you're going through, but you just want to really make sure that you say, really, it's the Most High. Really, it's just the Most High. He set it up. He orchestrated it. Whatever he wanted me to go through, just the way that I'm going through it. And I know that for a fact because I'm telling you, it took me forever to get out the house. I tried so hard to get out the house and I could not. It was my whole trip was delayed. Then the thing with my daughter, then my son, I got a 2-year old, a active 2-year old. He rode the whole trip. He ain't have no problem. It was like the ancestor, my grandfather was sitting right there with him. He stayed calm the whole time. I've never had him be like that. I took him out to walk around, like a little puppy, and then you know, get him back in his seat. It was no problem. I've never had a trip with him like that. He was chill the whole time. Every trip has been like torture. He was chill the whole time. We got here, everybody was at peace. Everybody was at peace. Nothing that needs to be done is not going to get done. Everything that needs to be seen is going to be seen, and y'all going to get to be front row eyewitnesses of the come up, because this right here, I'm not leaving out of here the same way I came in. I came in here a debtor, a slave to their system, and I'm leaving out of here free from my own home, from my ancestors who could never be freed. They never got their freedom. They never got it. And I'm going to be the one to get it. And I don't even deserve it. I don't deserve it. The most high is so grand. I don't deserve it. And yet I'm going to get it because he promised it to me. This thing got to end sometime. It can't go on forever. These Gentiles have done enough. These See, a lot of people have problem with Gentiles. I really don't care about the Gentiles. It's the skin folk. I have a lot of skin folk. If you know anything about, I got a lot of skin folk and a lot of kinfolk. These people are terrible and it's going to be over. There's nothing they can do. There's absolutely nothing they can do. All they can do is do the will of the Most High. They have no choices left. Their doors are all closed and our doors are all open, because if their doors are closed, our doors are open. My ancestors never got the freedom that I'm going to get. The Most High just gave it to. There's no way possible. That I swear, the only thing that's in my name, that's actually in the name that I actually like own, quote unquote, is my car. Everything else is not. No, I don't have stuff in my name. I just don't. I never really got into that because in PG County, it's a mess. Like dealing with these people is a mess. So you don't really you do whatever you can to put stuff in some other entity's name, some other whatever name. You just don't have stuff in your name. So that was it. There's nothing else that could be. I mean, if you wanted to show me something, that would be the way to show me, because I just drove 12 hours up here, and so yeah, I know, I'm from the county, man. It used to be beautiful, man. I can't even tell you how great it used to be growing up in the 80s. I know people talk about the 80s and be like whatever, but no, I'm from the country. I lived down a dirt road. I had like a great childhood. It was great, even with the crazy church stuff. It was still a fantastic childhood. And I got to grow with all of my grandmother's sisters and my grandfather's sisters and brothers, and I had a really really fulfilling childhood out here in the country, and they just destroyed it. I mean, it's complete. I would not. That's why I had to get out of here, because the skin folk came in heavy, 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 and destroyed. Really, what happened? I can tell you what happened with PG County when they put up the National Harbor. They literally ignored all of my people's bodies that was buried down there. Totally ignored them. Build up that whole National Harbor over all grave sites. That thing is going to be the Achilles heel of this county. Oh yeah, they man, PG County people are just, especially, and I'm from where I'm from, the country. You'd be like, oh well, you're from Fort Washington. You're from Tantalian, right? No, I'm not from Tantalian. I ain't never been on that side of town. It's down the street, but it's not nowhere near where I am. Where I am is like it's very historic right here. But just right on the other side, you got all the people in the country clubs and the boats. Everyone has a boat in PG County. If you didn't know, they all have country club memberships, all black country club. They can't go to the white folks. They gotta stay right here with their Negroes in their Negro country club. That's what it's like. And it's always been like that because I always been the poorest person because I'm from the country. Like everyone else is from right around me is all city. And right here is a dirt road and country. And so people, it was that's why I said it's the skin folk. They hate you. They hate your guts. They don't want to see you succeed. And now they're gonna have to take, not only are they gonna have to see you succeed, they're the ones who's gonna have to do the work for you to be successful because the Gentiles, at the first sign of, and all of this, I never thought, oh man, I'm losing everything. Let me kill myself. Let me 988 myself. I never thought that. But the Gentiles, that's their first thing. Oh my gosh, I'm losing everything. It's time to just end this. Really? End this and take my kids with me. No, no, not a thought. Didn't even go there. But the Gentiles, they can't handle this type of pressure. They're going to fold like a napkin because when the pressure comes to them, they're not even going to, they don't already have an account that's paid in full. See, they have an account and their balance is zero. Ooh, I know what I remember that feeling. I remember that feeling when the balance was zero. When for hundreds of years our ancestors worked and did all kinds of stuff, and our balance was always zero. We worked hard as ever, and at the end of the day we had zero. Zero. And when now our blessings are, this light is switched on, we got the blessings that's going to be overflowing, overflowing. So I think I told y'all about the dream, but let me tell y'all about this dream that I had. Let me tell it in more detail because I understand now. I had a dream. So one of the things I was not upset with the Most High, but I was addressing directly with the Most High, is that I had asked for something very specific, some gold, and I hadn't received it. I was like, well, I asked for this. Where is it? You said I could have my desires of my heart. This is what I desire. I don't see it. And that very night, that exact night, I had a dream. And in my dream, I was in my bed, and I actually have my retirement box on my dresser. And so when I woke up, I saw the retirement box. It was actually like beside my leg, and it had the gold that I asked for sitting right beside it. I guess they couldn't get it in the box. I don't know. I mean, I didn't ask for like a lot, so it was so weird. But it was sitting beside my leg on the bed, and I was like, nobody's going to believe this. Nobody's going to believe this. So I have a friend of mine staying at my house, and I was like, I called, I was like, look, come look at this, come look at this. And I was like, this is what I asked for. This is exactly what I asked for. And then they were like, well, what's the rest of this? I was like, I don't know. I didn't ask for that. And every time I moved something, something else was right there. It was more. And it was like, what is all this stuff? And I was like, look, I don't know what this stuff is. All I asked for is, a couple little things so that I could take care of some stuff and retire and just, do the work of the Most High. That's all I asked for. And it was just every time we moved, it was more stuff. It was more stuff, just like on my bed, by my legs, every time I moved. I was like, okay, because I was at me, I tell everybody my strategy with the angels is I'm gonna ask every day until I receive it. And then when I don't receive it, I'm gonna keep asking. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop asking about it because they gave it to me in my dream, So that's I equivalate that with having actually received it. And so I was like, I'm just gonna stop asking for that. But the dream was so weird because it was like it was just so much. I was like, this is just not, this is way more than what I asked for. I just asked for, enough to be comfortable. Not all of this. Like, this is too much. I just in my mind I kept saying, this is what I don't even know what this stuff is. It was kind of like because it wasn't all gold, it was like plates. It was like artifacts. And so every time we moved something, it was another artifact that just popped up. And I was like, well, what is this? This is just not what I asked for. I just wanted this little, thing so I could chill. And I'm getting all of this stuff. Every time I moved something, it was something else was right there, just like replaced it out of nowhere. And I was like, wow, that's weird. And I said, well, I don't know how long that's going to take to manifest. So let me keep working on the other stuff. You know what I mean? See, it's like when you receive it in a dream, you received it, because I've been received the stuff with the bill, but like that was like a long time ago, but I just didn't see the physical manifestation, which I kept asking, look, what is going on? What's going on? That's when I was like, oh, the magnetic and electric fluid. I need to charge me up and draw it to me, because the Most High granted it. I had authorization, but I hadn't done the work to actually bring it to me. And so the magnetic fluid and the electric fluid, I used that to bring it to me. And so as a result, this seems like, to me, this literally seems like the end of a chapter, because it's only affecting me right here, right now. This is not going through all the spheres. This is not going through, I'm not, what I mean by going through all the spheres, mean it's not everything is going to be taken, everything's going to be messed up. It's just this one thing. This was a physical representation of, really, now that I think about this, I got this car to drive Uber, and that was a really hard work, and I made a lot of money, but it was really, really hard work. I did Uber for 5 years in DC, very, very dangerous. And I didn't care. I was like, well, if the Most High, and I wasn't talking about the Most High in these terms. I was like, if God want to take me, He gonna have to take me. Let me just go out here and work. And so to take, when I'm asking for retirement, to take the thing that caused me to do the most work I have ever done in my life, and to take that thing and bring it back to me, like washed clean, like without the stain of, oh, I got this car for Uber, and then the pandemic, and I couldn't drive anymore, and I just had to stay home, and it was just, it's all been a giant mess since then. So to literally take that representation of work away from me right now while I'm here at home, and to know that it's going to come back free and clear, like totally erased of that slavery that Uber has you on. You have no, this is literally like slavery. To know that that's going to come back totally clean, like a clean slate, like just free and clear, and for me not to be stressed out about that anymore. That is like, that is not a feeling that you get every day. And so I'm like, okay, I'm understanding more and more how the Most High works. And I can say, all I can say, the Most High is grand. He does things we can't even imagine, in ways that we can't imagine it. But if we have to be punished, we don't have to be punished harshly. We can be punished lightly, especially if you're pure of heart, and you're really, you know, sincere with your efforts, which I try to be as sincere and as pure and all the prayed up, all that stuff as much as I can, because I really seek the Father in spirit and in truth, and not with a covered heart or whatever. And I get on here and I just tell y'all different things that I find, so that, again, as I ascend, we can ascend together. There's a whole level of angels who are stuck because we won't go through our ascension process. So we have to, ascend, so that they can continue to move on to the things that they want to do. They're just stuck waiting for us. And and this, it's not even just the Most High. The angels love us so much, like they will make things as light, and I would have been concerned with the stuff left in the car, and you know what I mean, like, it's things that you would think about later, like, oh man, I left this, I left that, this is personal information, that and this, and you don't want people going through your stuff and putting their energy in it. And that's really, like, because I had my car super protected. I had all the angels' names of the 360 heads that I traced and copied. I did trace, copy, copy. So it was literally what 600, basically 600 plus names of the Most High in the car. I had the sesame seed, I had the garlic wrap of the red. I had all that stuff in my car because I had my organite. I had a bunch of different organites. I did not play. I was like, no, this car it gets my kids from A to B. It's very important that it is safe. Wherever I go, I'm very, very well protected. And I just felt like coming back all of that ancestral energy running just so we can have this point right here where I get on this live and tell you it's these people have crossed the line, so there's no going back for them, and we don't have they we can just ignore them, like because it would just be fun to look at them and see, wow, this is awful. See, the angels been protecting you your whole life. Your ancestors, the good ones, they've been protecting you your whole life. And then once you do the karma cleanse and you reconnect your ancestors' DNA, then you have access to all of them. They all come back and protect you. And that's why it's important to do the spiritual work and to, not let once you know something, you can't let anybody turn you around from it. You can't let anybody turn you back. You have to just keep moving forward, and you have to know that everything happens for the reason and the purpose and the to for the glory to go to the Most High and the Most High alone. Just like against him and him alone have you sinned, the glory goes to him and him alone. And I do thank my angels for protecting me in this situation and allowing everything to go the way that it had to go. And I'll tell y'all, the guy, I'm really, I was just I was upset for like 2/3 of a second, like literally like the 2/3. I was upset for 2/3 of a second, and I was like, this was a little too convenient, wasn't it? Because I just so happened to be here. I haven't been here in over a month. I never stay here when I come up the road. I always go and stay somewhere else. And usually I'm here for like 5 seconds and then I'm off to do a billion things because while I'm up here, I try and do as much as I can because unfortunately, Jacksonville's Asian food selection is really bad. I cook a lot of Asian food because my daughter is into all that Korean stuff. And so I have to actually come up here to do my Asian food shopping because I cannot find the stuff that I find up here down there. And it's just so, I mean, but I can't even do that until Monday or so anyway. So I haven't missed. Oh, good. See? Finish that karma cleanse, man. Those things are this stuff is very serious. Like, I mean, you can have a living witness right here. This is very serious. And not only did I do a karma cleanse for myself. Then I turn around. Oh, I cook so much Asian food. Oh my goodness, I make sushi, all kinds of stuff. I mean, anybody coming to Jacksonville, I don't worry about it. I'll feed you. I have to cook fresh food every single day because my kids they don't like leftovers. So, it's anyway. The karma cleanse is very important. All of your spiritual work is very important. And so, like I was saying, I had to do a karma cleanse for me and that covered my children except for my son. So then I had to do a karma cleanse for his father, and I got authorization to do that. Typically, you don't get authorization for that because everybody's supposed to do it for themselves. But just to prevent him from having to ever go through this type of stuff, I was like, I need to do this because we see, like, if you have a nine in your birthday, like as for your date, like me, and he also has a nine, you are responsible for your family for doing the karma cleanse. No, the karma cleanse is the one that you do with the pendulum. Queen Mommy, if you send me an email, I'll send you the protocol. But it's something that you do with the pendulum. You actually um get the goddesses of karma, which are the beings of Venus, to actually um literally heal your karma, like literally erase your debt. Because remember, the beings of Venus are love. However, if you listen to my lesson on Haniel, they also have to tell the truth. So again, when you go into the spiritual realm, if you haven't dealt with your karma, that's the first thing you're gonna have to deal with. And so with the karma cleanse, you heal and connect your DNA, and you also do it for your ancestors, and then you are able to especially if you have a nine for your birthday, You are, yeah, and they said no. See, you ask and they're like, nah, that person got to do it for themselves. You know what I mean? And so you have to go. You can't go against what they say. What they say is what they say, and you got to go with what they say. Like I said, it's very unusual, but because my son is not even of age, I was like, how am I going to explain to him how to do this? Number one. Number two, why does he have to go all the way until he turns 18 before dealing with this karma stuff? Because again, your kids have to deal with it or whatever, like if they're underage, you can cover them. You can cover them. Oh, yes. If you put it in the chat, I'll screenshot it and I will send you a message because yeah, my name is I should have picked the easier name. I don't it just my brain sometimes it's like I should have made something that was a little bit easier, but I really wasn't thinking about it when I just picked all of these names and stuff. And Google's really funny about like weird. So yeah, if you send it to me, I will send you an email, and I'll send it to you. So um or if you put your email in the chat, I will screenshot it and send it to you. So yeah, that's what the karma cleanse is. You use the pendulum and you take care of it, and you take care of yourself and you take care of your ancestors, and you will that's just one less thing that you have to do when you get to the other side, because basically the whole concept of going back on the wheel, I was explaining this to somebody yesterday. When you're born at a point on the wheel, which is like, if you guys remember, Levi was said that one of the angels actually tells you when to, like, you can have sex so that you have a baby with certain attributes. I actually found a book on that all the way back in May, and I was like, I am not going to talk about this. This sounds crazy. And now I wish I had, because then you would not I mean, obviously, hopefully you believe me, but literally I have a book that describes this entire process of how to pick the date. They can track it down to the minute, down, literally crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And so when you are born, when you're gestated, when the egg and the sperm come together and you actually gestate, that's the point, like, you start on the wheel. And then so um as you go, there's a yeah, the book is crazy. It's from like 1893 or something like that. They could track it to the minute in 1893. So just imagine what they can do now. Probably not better, but so this information has been out there. It's just you have to be a really kind of a maybe elite person to want to have a kid with certain traits, but then of course you could end up with Hunter Biden, and that's kind of like maybe not what you were going for, like the whole crackhead son thing. But anyway, I can see a lot of Gentiles probably use this. So again, once you're born that spot, you take energy from all the different planets. They rule over a certain part of your development, and that's where the whole cell salt issue comes in, that Mama Tilia is always talking about, or had done all her series about. And so once you're actually born, then you don't come off the wheel, but that is, see, yeah, me too. I could talk about. I will do a stream about my kids one day. So then, each one of them is just. I didn't know I was pregnant. My last one, I went to the hospital and was like, I think I'm about to have a baby, and they were like, "Where'd you do your prenatal at?" I was like, "Prenatal? I didn't do no prenatal. Look, I'm about to have a baby right now. Y'all gonna have to figure this out. All of that stuff y'all talk about, I ain't do none of that. I'm about to have a baby. Y'all gonna have to take care of that." They were like, ma'am, that's pretty bad. You're supposed to do prenatals." I was like, "Yeah, but I already had my own regimen. I'm fine. This baby's gonna be just fine." And he is a giant man. So once you're born, then you come out and you have all these traits that basically assign to you based on how the celestial formed when was when you were born. But that's like just one, like a snapshot. And so that energy is basically have a portal of that energy always with you. And so some people is good, some people it's bad, some people know how to use it, some people don't know how to use it. It just depends on whatever was going on around that. That's kind of how that works. And so you can, with that information, you can know how to deal with certain things. That's why it's important to have your chart, because then you can see how you should deal with certain things, or how when certain things come up, what exactly the lesson is that you're supposed to learn. And on my chart is always like, whatever it is that I want, I have to be leading the way. And I have no, there's no like good Venus aspects in my chart. I have no love in my chart. Mine is all serious, serious, serious. I'm very serious about it. I have to work really hard to develop that like love aspect, because that's not really in my actual chart. Yeah, the karma cleanse is really, really good. I did it, and it just, between that and locking your star up, you are like, it's, again, you don't have to do the karma cleanse the way that I lay it out. You can, there's other ways to do it, but I just find that using a pendulum, you get confirmation right away, instead of doing something and then waiting for, if you're an air sign, that may, the spirit may more easily speak to you in that way. But I'm an earth sign, and so I need a physical confirmation. I can't really do this whole, the spirit's just gonna, shalom, shalom, the spirit's just gonna come on me and give me some answer. That's not really how it works, except like I did, like I said, I did hear in my head, just think about if they take your car. Don't be too worried about that. And I was like, okay, that's a weird thing to be thinking about right now, but okay. And lo and behold, so I did get a warning that time, but most of the time I have to like go and ask my pendulum, like, what is going on with this? I'm not really sure. So I just find the pendulum is easy for me to use. And it's convenient because I can put it in my pocket, I can carry it with me, and if I have a question, like for example, like I went to buy my son shoes, and I asked, okay, will these shoes fit my son? And of course, the ones at Walmart would have fit him, but the my guardian angel told me not to get this stuff from Walmart. So I was in the Walmart. I put all the stuff back and I went to Target. So I got the shoes from Target. And of course, the shoes from Target didn't fit him. I forgot to ask while I was there. This man is already in a size 9 small kid shoe. He was just in a 7. Now he's in a 9. I was like, oh, okay, well, that's like a two size jump in like a month, because he could just fit these 8s and the 7s was just fitting. And now I'm going to have to go in there and get 9. So, anyway, I just wanted to bring this to you so that if you notice that, it seems like maybe things are going to be like rearranged, especially if you're like, again, requesting to be judged for your heart and for what you are, and to reap what you sow. Hopefully nobody is out there doing like me, and saying, look, please judge me, please, please, please judge me. No, hopefully nobody's doing that. As a matter of fact, I now do not recommend that. Please do it an easier way. Don't take the hard route like me and be like, no, I need to be judged for all of my sins right now. Like, don't don't do that. Like, you could make this so much easier for yourself if you just say, please just forgive me for my sins. Don't judge me for them. Just just forgive me. And avoid some of this heartache. Like I said, very minimal heartache. Like, I swear, I I just I'm the most high is just so grand. Like, this is just one of those things that if I weren't telling you this part right now, you would not believe the second part. And I just remember Shavi Zane did this a few weeks ago, and I was like, you know what? I better do it, because if people don't get on here who are in this walk and public, and even with my few little viewers, and say what the most high is actually doing, what you can physically see with your eyes, that's not private information, quote unquote, when the blessing comes, yeah, just ask them to forgive it and leave it at that. Don't don't do it the hard way. But me, I have to do. I'm down. I'm like Levi. Like, yeah, you did. I'm sorry, Princess Lily. I'm almost done. You have to rewind it back to the beginning, and you be laughing the whole time. This thing is quite hilarious. So you definitely want to, you know, just when you know the test is going to come, you know it is. There's no way you get out of this whole thing without additional tests, but you can actually just ask, but just make this easy. If this has to be a test, if I have to go through something, please make it not too hard. Make it something that I can bear. You know what I mean? And I'd have done that. I'm like, if I have to be, if whatever has to happen, just make it so I can bear it, so that I'm not in this thing going crazy and all of that. I don't want to have to, you know, go through what the Gentiles have to go through if my curses are over. So, like I said, the Most High is really, really grand, and we have some great things that are ahead of us. And all we have to do is keep pushing. We're on the right track. The Most High has given us the tools. We have everything that we need. I said this in somebody's ring at it. We came here with this particular sister, she came here with everything that she needed. It was right there, the very first card, and that applies to all of us. We came here with everything that we need. All we have to do is figure out how to access it. And the way that we access it is when these things come up, like in your anger don't sin. That's a huge thing. And when the going gets tough, keep the Most High at the top. Keep your eye on Yahweh, and you'll be able to walk across the water. What did Peter? I mean, I don't know how you have this guy as a disciple, but anyway, he's everything he did was crazy. If I had Peter, I would be like, I don't think you quite make the cut. I think you might need to go back and try this thing again, like maybe just reapply in a few months and you might be ready, because everything, at least Peter tried. He tried everything, man. This man failed fantastically at everything. So that just shows you the Most High is going to work with everybody. If he can work with Peter and Mark's hungry self and Matthew's bill collector self, he can work with you. You don't even have all of that baggage from being a bill collector or being a doctor, or all of that stuff that the disciples came with, or Mary, all the stuff that she came with, Mary Magdalene. You don't even have all that stuff that these people came with. You to compare to the people in the Bible, you got a very small load that you bearing. It's the difference is they didn't have as much karma to deal with. We have way more karma to deal with. Again, that's why you want to do a karma cleanse, get all that stuff healed and restored. Because the important part about the karma cleanse is reactivating your DNA, so that when you use your magnetic and your electric fluid, it actually works. Because if you don't have active DNA, that it's not going to work for you. It's not going to. Yeah, Peter was. I mean, there's no. I don't say Peter is the worst disciple because that's kind of harsh. But if I had a Peter around me, I would be like, dog, you need to go do another 40 days in the desert and then come back and talk to me after maybe another 40 days, because you obviously your 40 days wasn't enough. You know what I mean? And yeah, circumstances do seem insurmountable. Thanks for getting me back on track, because I get off into the parables and the New Testament stuff is, if you reread the New Testament, you'll be like, whoa, wait, that's not what that means. That's not what that means. That's not what that means. None of that stuff is what it means. Um, so because that's just a whole nother thing. So yeah, you have to, you know, and always be willing to help another person through it. So I'm getting on here hoping that it will help somebody through who is going to be facing the same thing, and hopefully avoid it as much as possible by just asking the angels, this I can't take but so much. So me, again, I'm very aggressive. And I maybe need to turn it down a little bit. Um just a little bit with the angels, but I'm quite aggressive. I'm like, look, I can't take this. What I can't take is this. I can take all of this other stuff. That's cool. I can deal with this. I can deal with that. But what I can't take is that. You know what I mean? And I tell them, look, I can't handle this. I don't know what y'all think I can handle, but I can't handle this. So of all the things that I could not handle right now, they took the one thing that I could handle. I could handle this. I have to go through something. This is a very small thing. I can handle that. Especially when I know the check is in the mail. Like, this is so it's really one of those things that's like, if even if I didn't know the check was in the mail, I would still not be worried. But I know that I've done the work, and I know that our curse is over. For sure our curse is over. I feel like when I heard that the troops had stepped foot in Haiti, I was like, "Oh, that's it. Our curse is big over now." It was kind of like lingering. You could still see the inklings of them having a mild blessing, but I think when they sent the first ship into the Atlantis area, that was it. It was like, no, no, enough is enough. This is over. Like, this is over. And I really, when I found out about that yesterday, I was actually, I didn't see any of the live streams yesterday because I was literally trying to get out the house. And um when I went back and rewatched everything, I was like, oh, our door is unlocked now. They done unlocked the door by sending those people over there. It's our we got a wide swung open door now. It's totally wide open. You know what I mean? And so the good thing is that it's basically it for us. We got our everything is wide open. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm very much looking forward to, oh, one more thing. Um so a sister sent me a video about the fact that on the day that I picked to start the 22-day fast, the 22nd, there's going to be a once in 250-year conjunction of the sun and Venus, which is like the father and the mother are going to be at the exact same degree. And I looked at the actual chart for the 22nd, which I did, but I didn't really look at it. Jupiter is going to be at 00 degrees. So let me explain this a little bit. I'm going to try not to go too far into this part. When a planet is at 00 degrees, that call that the void. So when the moon is at 00 degrees, it's the void. And so, um, what that means is if you look at the book by Bardon, he describes how you have angels over 1 through 30. They don't have an angel over 00 degrees. So what happens is when a planet is at 00 degree, whatever the angel that is for the 30th degree actually basically is the one that's in charge. And so I haven't looked at no, it's in Taurus. I mean Aries. Venus is going to be at 00 degrees Aries. So if you go into the book and look at what 00 degrees is, 30 degrees is in Aries, that's the energy that's going to be coming in. I know it's so I don't have my book, but the point of the matter is Jupiter is going to be putting out a huge amount of energy at the same time as Venus and the sun at the same exact time. And if you think about this in terms of people, you have Melchizedek and Anahiel, the dew, at the same location at the same time, and you have Gaira, uh, Zedek, um, which is the wife of Melchizedek at a um at the degree of the most power, because 00 is the most power. When something is in 00, that is the strongest. And so you have a situation where it's going to be so much energy coming in, and then plus again Saturn is coming out of retrograde. So not only do you have this stuff going on with the sun and Venus, and then you have Jupiter doing its thing, and you have Saturn coming out of retrograde. The 22nd energy is going to, I knew they had to start a war before the 22nd. I didn't think they were going to pick Haiti. How stupid is that? But there's going to be so much energy coming in on the 22nd. It's going to be like out of this world. And so again, you don't want to fast with us. Um don't You don't have to read Psalm 51 every day for 22 days, and participate with us in spirit, or do something for yourself. Light you a candle, a 7-day candle at least. I mean, open up to that energy. It's just going to be so much energy coming in on next Saturday, and so you got to. I already have in mind. It's going to be. I'm bringing in all the energy. That's why I had to happen today, this Saturday, so that by the time I'm walking into this thing a whole new person. By next week, I'm not even going to be. I'm going to be totally free by next week. completely free. I'm walking into this thing a whole new person. That's why I had to happen this week. So that next week I can walk into this thing as a new free person and I can be advocating for my people on behalf as a free person, not as a slave. And that power, our ancestors never had the opportunity to do that. Our recent ancestors, maybe back in the day, they did, but our recent ancestors never had the opportunity to do that. And remember, the Hammurabi Code is 4,000 years old. So in 4,000 years, my people have never had the opportunity to walk into a situation like this with complete freedom. And I'm going to do that for my family. And so I just encourage you do something. I mean, it's not no, it don't have to be even the fast that we're doing is not complicated. You know, we just do this very simple Daniel fast, not know what the Gentiles say. I did a video on it. It's literally no sweet wine, no meat, and no sweet wine, no meat, and no sweet bread. Not complicated. So, and then of course I got some spiritual stuff that's gonna be like probably overkill, but I want to make a point of. And so again, I don't recommend people do what I do. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, but I don't recommend it. Shalom, beloved. So you miss it. I'm getting ready to. You had to rewind it and watch it from the beginning. Like it's a whole chunk full of we're gonna do 22 days. So starting next Saturday, for 22 days because the Saturday is the 22nd. The Saturn, like I just said, is coming out of retrograde. You have this huge amount of energy with the Sun and Venus being in the same degree, and then Jupiter is going to be at 0 0, which is the strongest. So it's a lot of energy coming in, and the whole idea is we just want to mourn the loss of the two thirds and the skin folk and the kinfolk. The Gentiles, we don't have to mourn their loss, but we want to mourn the loss of our own people. And now that I know this thing about Anahiel and Melchizedek, then we're also just asking for complete and total. We want to shine and we want to be, we want to be right there like Venus, the Alpha and Omega. We want all of that energy to come. So we're the first and the last, the head and the tail. There's no, we don't even have to, you know, yeah, it's yeah. I mean, look, ask the Most High. I tell nobody they don't have to do anything I'm doing, but I know one thing for sure: that energy is coming in, whether we do something or not. And the last time the energy came in, you see what happened at the end of the 40 days. And so if it's me and the angels, hey, that's all I need. We I'm going 10 toes down because overdo it. That's just me. I'm going 10 toes down. As you can see, the Most High had to punish me with a huge punishment because I do too much. So again, don't do what I do. Just just observe. I do it on behalf of the nation. You could be 100% sure of that. I do what I do on behalf of the nation, on behalf of my people, on behalf of y'all, because I know nobody, my ancestors did what they could on behalf of me, but they didn't have the knowledge that we have. They didn't use the knowledge. They were punished upon punish upon punish. These people kept coming back and renewing their contracts and all kinds of stuff. So, me, I do it on behalf of every single person who is in this truth, every person who's walking in truth, every person who's trying to get to the truth. That's what I do it on behalf. That's who I do it on behalf of. So you don't have to do. I do what I do for everybody. I don't even anybody who is trying to get their life together, I do it on behalf of y'all. So I come here, I be 100% on behalf of whatever anybody can find me anywhere. Because where I'm from is very public. It don't even matter. It doesn't matter to me. It's just about getting our people some peace, retiring our people, getting our people some freedom. Like we have never had no freedom. We need it right now. It's in and we about to we're going to get it. It has been delivered. I mean, literally delivered to us. These people have gone too far. It has been delivered to us, directly delivered to us. So I'm gonna let y'all go. Of course, we're gonna do a little conference call later if you want. Send me an email and I'll send you the information. I'm just gonna tell y'all the little. I don't want to put it on the internet. We want a sneak attack. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I plan on doing. hold on one second. I have to get out the bathroom now. I'm gonna tell y'all what I plan on doing so that you can decide whether you want to participate or not. And if you missed the beginning, please go back and watch the beginning. Y'all will not believe what happened to me. It is ridiculous, completely ridiculous. But it does have a good ending, and all praises to the Most High. We gonna make this thing work. And so to the spirits who are here with me, you're invited to go in peace. Um, to my beloved viewers, you're invited to be at peace and always remember the Most High is your peace. Shalom, everyone.